Kat is going to run a lot of this meeting tonight.
No, I'm not actually. I did, we always kind of put our heads together about what are we going to talk about tonight? What is she going to talk about? And what am I going to be asking questions about? Usually what it is.
Yeah.
And so I looked up, I knew that we had a new moon in Leo, and I didn't know what that meant. But when I started looking into this, I learned about Lionsgate. And I also learned that yesterday was a really big day in terms of 8/8, because that's considered to be a very lucky day. So there was a couple of reasons why this is significant this particular time. But it's a lucky moon because it happens on the same day as Lionsgate, which is when Sirius, the brightest star, comes back into view and moves into alignment with the sun. And it's considered to be one of the luckiest days for and it's a perfect time for manifesting your passions and desires. So in case anybody a Leo on this meetup? Oh, we have a Leo. What's your birthday?
Me?
Rachel?
Yeah. Rachel?
It's the 17th.
Okay, the 17th. All right.
And Sarah?
And Sarah,
also the
you're
17th.
Also the 17th?
No.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
cool.
Oh, very cool.
How old are you turning, Sarah?
20.
Oh, that's so close. I'm turning 21.
Oh, happy almost birthday. We'll have to remember
cool.
that. So the Leos know, I don't know very many Leos in my life, but Leo, the sign of Leo is connected to self-worth, confidence, creativity, and romance. And this new moon that occurred yesterday, which is Jamie's probably told you guys, if you've been here long enough, you know that you have the day that the moon is full, and then you have the day before and the day after that. So you've got like this 3-day window, is about 2.5 days, where you can do any of this type of energy work or rituals or anything like that, where you can take advantage of the particular time that the full moon or the new moon or whatever the moon is coming in. But this moon on 8/8 is sandwiched in between two double full moons in Aquarius. The next one will happen on August 22nd. And Aquarius is the leader of innovation and authenticity, and Leo's sister sign. So again, being a water sign, I know a lot about the water signs, and but we don't have a lot of Leos. The fiery signs, it's fire, right?
Fire, yeah.
Fire, yeah, fire and water. Anyway. So this particular moon, thanks to this alignment, comes bearing gifts of abundance. And I looked up what kind of a ritual. So I'm going to confess here as a new witch, I have not done a lot of, I don't know if any of you are like me. I know Trent's like, I feel like Trent's like the leader of the pack, been here forever, or like he's much more experienced than I feel anyway, but I haven't done a lot of spells or rituals, and I'm trying to figure out how to create them. So I went looking to see what I could do, and I found one. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought maybe we could either like kind of brainstorm, because we have an opportunity still to take advantage of this energy. Tonight after sunset is when you would do this ritual. And then after that, I think we're going into another phase.
The next phase. Yeah.
So
first quarter.
So I wanted to share this with you guys and see if maybe we could brainstorm. And then we've got our really experienced teacher here who can kind of help guide us if we're struggling, like
no pressure on me. It's fine. No.
So the ritual was, and I think I was okay, guys. Tell you, I had a lot of work today, and I was doing this in the middle of work, and so then my computer locked up on me, and I had to shut it down, and then I couldn't find the website, so I got something off here, but I'll share with you guys what it said. It was like, get 2 pieces of paper, okay, and a bowl of water. And what you do is on one piece of paper, you write whatever it is that you no longer want in your life. And you have to word it carefully and with love. And it gave an example like, I lack love in my life and blah, blah, blah. So I used what they had as the example for that. And I'll read to you what I wrote in a second. And then on the other piece of paper, you write what you want to bring into your life. And then as you read these, it said to burn one. And I thought it said to burn the second one. And the reason for the bowl of water is so you don't burn your fingers up, is you let it burn. But Jamie was kind of telling me that we probably need to do something different with the one that you want. So the things that you want. So I'll read to you, and I kind of wanted your guys' help. If any of you have done rituals like this, similar to this before, what your thoughts were on maybe how I could make this stronger. And if you don't have any ideas, then the teacher will tell us the best way to do it. So what I wrote is for what I want to bring into my life is that this is what I wrote. So on my piece of paper, I have experienced a lack of romance and intimacy in my life. I have learned whatever I needed to learn and experience. And now with gratitude and love, I release you. So that is my lack that I'm going to release. Okay. And then what I want to bring into my life, and this is where I kind of got like, how do I wrap this up? It's like, I want romance and intimacy in my life. And I want to ask the universe to bring that to me. And I kind of got stuck there. I was like, okay, so then what do I say after that? I feel like this is lacking a closing statement. So I would love to hear feedback from my fellow new witches. And if nobody has any, then I will turn to the teacher and ask her to guide this. And if you guys have, maybe she can kind of explain to why we would burn one but not the other, and how we might make something like this stronger. And then if you guys have something that you would like to bring into your life, this is a really good time to do that. So be thinking along those lines because you have time this evening.
I've kind of done a thing like this before, and usually on the paper with things that you want, like at the end to close it, I usually kind of finish it as if I already have it. Like, thank you for these things. They are mine already. And usually what I'll do, because I've done spells before with like fire and water, and usually I'll put I'll make moon water and put the moon water on top of the paper that I like, or the paper of things I want, and then I'll drink the moon water.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you mean? You put the water on top of it, like in a glass or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I have my jar of moon water and I put it under the moon with the paper underneath it.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And then you drink the water. I like that.
It's infused then.
Yeah.
It's like an infused moon water.
Okay. So adding a statement is something along the lines that you already have it. Well, the other thing I wanted to say, what I was thinking, and again, I'm doing this while I'm working, which is not really good, but at any rate, because I couldn't give it my full attention.
It's brainstorming.
But what I was thinking is I really want the universe to know, what I want to put out there is that I trust the universe to know what I need, to know the person or the people, even, it could be multiple people. It couldn't be, I mean, I don't know, but I wanted to say something along the lines, or add something along the lines of that. I trust the universe, and I'm giving this over to the universe to bring, to do what they see as the most benefit to me. And I wasn't quite sure how to word that. So, anyway, Trent's shaking his head. He knows, huh?
There's always so mote it be, which is just to say that you've closed it out and it's what you know now. Like, so mote it be means it is what it is now, like done. So it can if you ever get stuck or you just feel like you're spinning your wheels and you want to maybe not think anymore, you can always end things with so mote it be. You can always say, in perfect love and trust, I let this go to the universe. It supplies me with what I need. I like Rachel's idea with meditations. I more move into that thing. Is like after the meditation of manifestation, I'll always just believe that it's already there. Like, belief becomes the act of receiving. So as you get into writing your own stuff, you want it to feel comfortable. So as my mom started to struggle a little bit with it, I'm like, what would you naturally say if you're just like speaking it out into the universe? And that was her first thing, was so mote it be, because she knows that as a proper ending for where rituals or spells sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be extra.
I'm really extra.
She could be an overthinker and a perfectionist.
And overthinker, perfectionist, extra. Yeah. Extra AF.
So it can make it challenges that her spiritual mind starts going, the rational mind needs to come forward to control all of this so that it's perfect and we get exactly what we want. And in doing this is not really about our rational minds. This is more about our spiritual minds and connecting with the universe. So letting that control thing that we want to do, when we let that go, we're even getting more in line with the universe, because like you said, you want to tell the universe, I just released this and I trust you to bring it to me. That should kind of be everyday life. Like, as long as we're controlling our thoughts and our intentions, we should trust that the universe is building that future and we're walking into it as we're building those thoughts. It's building with us. Like, every day we build that future. So it's perfect that you just want to say, I release you to the universe, be free. And it'll come to you, because that is like the end thought.
Okay, so what do you do with the I know when you want something, when you have written down something that you want, you do something different than when you're trying to release it. Like, burning is fire is transformation.
Fire is transformation.
So this could be considered, the both could, and I thought that the ritual said burn both of them, but maybe I didn't read far enough. So when Jamie and I were talking about this a little bit beforehand, so she was saying that perhaps to think of some things that would make this statement stronger, or is it stronger? Is that the right word? Or just kind of like fortify it. I want to say fortify. So something like maybe putting it in my underwear drawer with black lace panties or something.
Intimacy, romance.
Intimacy, romance. I told her, well, I have rose petals. So I have all these dried rose petals that I could use, because that's love. When you think of rose petals, you think of love.
I love that.
Maybe I can put it with that. But then I put it somewhere, right? Like, maybe I put it in my intimates drawer or something.
Or in the rose petals in a jar where it's out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when we talk about doing our spells, having that reminder, that thing afterwards, whether we're making satchels or it's a melted candle on paper where we leave it out so that we can be reminded, because we do our spells and our rituals one time, but having that reminder there so that we can keep trying to get back to that feeling. That was the other thing. To make something more powerful, feel the feeling of it when you do it. Speaking the words is awesome. Like, getting the words out there, that's great. But feeling the feeling when you do it that's the stronger thing. So when you go through your ritual or your spell and you feel the feeling and you let it all go and you end it and you have that reminder, if you were to go up to your reminder and say, I remember what we did together the other night and it was magical, and I'm going to remember that feeling. And then you bring it forward over and over and over again. And so with that's manifestation. Every time we think thoughts, we're sending those energy waves out into the universe to manifest something, good or bad, always manifesting through thoughts. So that's why I like something that is somewhere where it's going to remind you, whatever it is. You could burn this and have ashes of it and then put it with rose petals if you wanted that fire transformation, that passion that goes with romance. And what I was definitely telling her, I was so proud that she had this all up and was like ready to go with it, because she's making it her own with each step or something different that she adds to it. Even though she got this from a website as an idea, she's going to transform it into her own thing. And that is probably the best part of being a witch. You get to do what you want. Like, you don't have to listen to everybody else's step-by-step thing. Feel what feels good to you. Anything that you can add to this that makes that feeling stronger, you're just headed in the right direction.
So I think I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to do based on that conversation and just having some time to think about it. I think I'm going to make a little satchel and I'm going to put this in it, and then I'm going to put rose petals in it and find some other things. I have some stones, I have rose quartz. I'll probably put that in there. I might find an herb that'll go along, and then have that little satchel, and it may go in my underwear drawer or somewhere. I would like it somewhere where I will see it. Mm-hmm. She suggested maybe buying a new pair of black lace panties, which, I like that idea too, but
I'm just saying,
but I'm pretty sure I have something sexy somewhere in a drawer. It hasn't seen the light of day for a really long time, but I'm pretty sure I have something that I can dig out, or lace, something like that would just,
it's a mood, right? It gives you the feeling.
Yeah.
It sets the mood. It sets the feeling with it.
So, So anybody else have anything that they can think of that they would like to share with us that they might do this evening along the same line where you're going to use this energy to get rid of something that you don't want and try to bring in something that you do want?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's a satchel?
Oh,
Oh, here,
you have one?
I'll show you. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah has one. So, Amazon sends all kinds of little things in those little satchels all the time. Like, that's so cute. I bought a bunch that are like cloth. It's actually pretty see-through, even though, well, you can kind of see that there's stuff in there. But if this was backlit, you'd see right through this. This is very thin cotton, right?
Yeah.
Cotton with a cotton string, super simple. I like to write stuff on mine, like with Trent and the sigils. I've learned to create different marks that I like to put on them.
Ooh, I like the idea of adding a sigil to it. That's really good.
Thanks,
Yes.
Trent.
Thanks, Trent.
So that's what a satchel is, and
it's just a little bag.
It's just a little bag of any kind. There's always bottles also, but this you can stick in your pocket. So I told the story of like a couple months ago, I had to go somewhere where there was somebody who's very vicious with their mouth, and I made me and my husband protection satchels, and I would always ask him, I was like, where's your satchel? Do you have it's in your pocket, right? Just making sure we need to be good every time we go to this place. So then when I came home from my trip, I washed mine. I left it in my pocket. Yeah. So the stuff survived, but all the herbs were gone. They washed out, but that's okay. You can just make another one. So the good thing about having a satchel, Rachel, is that anything that you use after this, when you're ready to let a spell go, I don't know how many people have done that yet either, but when you let a spell go, when you're returning that energy or you want to renew it, you're taking everything out of that satchel super easy. Anything that you want to return to the earth for the earth to absorb the energy and cleanse it, you can. And then the stones, you just put them back in moonlight or sunlight to cleanse them, and then you can repurpose them into another spell, satchel, ritual, whatever you want.
How long do you keep the satchel?
As long as you feel like you need to.
Okay.
So, it's as long as that satchel still has feeling to you. If you pick it up and you're like, you lack life and luster, oh no, you can renew it. But if you pick it up and you still remember that feeling of when you did the spell and when you put everything there together, keep that alive. But you'll notice the more that you do that and the universe brings those things in to correct what you needed or eliminate stuff or whatever, eventually that satchel and spell will be like, oh, I don't feel anything with that anymore. It's kind of like, oh, well, it expired. It has an expiration date. It'll be different for all the things that you do, but
so one of the things that I always struggle with is like, okay, what's for what? What do I put in there? What herb, what stone, what this, what that?
Yeah.
And I think as new witches, that's really, you just have to have the experience with it. But I haven't, I do have rose quartz. I do have rose petals.
Yeah.
I have rosemary. I don't know that is
it's
a
protection.
It's protection. So maybe it'll protect my heart. I don't know.
Protection.
But anyway, so I asked the question if anybody else would like to have something that they want to do tonight that they can think of that they'd like to share with us.
Well, I think I'll probably for sure try to do a meditation. I've seen some of these Lion Gate meditations out there, so I might give that a try and see what's different with, regular meditation and focus on the manifestation part because it's supposed to be the AA is supposed to be strong. So
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So before the call really started, there were a couple of us on and we asked about the Lion's Gate, but before that, and my mom I just got here at 5:30 and was asking her, I was like, all right, so what'd you build? I had a crazy, crazy day. So she tells me that she's going to go through the Lion's Gate and the manifestation, everything. I was like, Mom, I got to share a synchronicity with you then. This morning in now I didn't even think about Lion's Gate. That's the funny part, right, Trent? Mm-hmm. I just didn't even consider it. And I did my meditation this morning. And if you guys don't know yet, I'm going to win the lottery, like many, many millions of dollars. No, that's what's going in my bank account. Jointly, there'll be many, many more. But it's like, that's all I've asked for. I was like, you know what? Because with that, I'm going to be able to help so many people. I have a whole list. I've written it out. It's a done deal. So that is my meditation every day, is living in that future self where it's like, I've done that, it's there, and what I'm doing every day after that. And I saw myself in my meditation today writing my mom and my sister $1 million checks. So after my meditation, I went upstairs, I cut out little pieces out of note cards, made them look like a real check, wrote it out to my mom and my sister each. And in the memo, I just put gift, $1 million. So like, I didn't even realize it was the manifestation time thing, but anytime I see something in my meditations that I'm trying to manifest for, if that vision really sticks with me, I'm like, I'm going to go create that, even though, you know, it's not necessarily the most real thing right now. Like in the future, it will be. I'm just waiting for that. Like it's already done. I've already decided I'm doing it. That's what's going to happen. So I thought it was unique that before the call, we were saying, you know, sometimes when it's that day of, there's a lot of pressure of like, oh man, you know, it makes it harder. Yeah. I like not knowing about it. And then I do something, I'm like, oh man, that totally worked out. I like that.
Well, and yesterday I had a pretty big day in my life too, with some stuff and I didn't realize that this was going on, of course. I'm this last minute with this stuff right now.
Finding out at the last minute.
Yeah, finding out at the last minute.
Day to day.
I haven't seen my father, my real father's, in over 40 years. And I have a brother that I had never met until just like 3 months ago. We found each other through 23andMe. And it's we share the same father, right? And so he told me, when I met him, you know, it turns out that he's had a relationship with our father all these years, been to visit him, knows they know our father and knows his daughter and all of this stuff. And, you know, I've always had this strained relationship with him, where Michael, my brother, always had the good relationship with him. But at any rate, so I made the decision last week. We had Witchy Wednesday here, and we always read each other's tarot cards, the three of us, my two daughters and I. And you know what came up in the cards, because I'm all about like, I'm really at a place, I really feel like I'm at a place where I'm ready for that next relationship in my life, or hopefully the last one, but at least another one, because I've been single for a long time, and I just feel like I've healed from all the shit from the last relationship, and I'm ready.
She's ready.
So anyway, and so that was what I was thinking about when we read the cards. And well, of course, what comes up in the cards is that there's this thing that I haven't dealt with. And that thing in my past I haven't dealt with is my daddy issues, you know, abandonment and all that crap that interferes with my relationships and causes me to maybe choose men that I wouldn't choose if I was healthier. So last week after this, I decided we were going to Phoenix. We're going to go see him. And yesterday was when I booked the flights. And then I called my brother, and then I called my mother and the brother that we share the father, and spent like 3 hours on the phone with the two of them talking about this. And then today to find out that all of that, like 8, I'm 11/8/58. So 8's a big number in my life, you know? And, anyway, so I was just like, okay, all right, universe, I hear you.
She was manifesting yesterday for dealing with her stuff, which was really hard for her to hear the week before. I have to be the one to tell her, right? I'm the card reader. And she was kind of pissed at me. She was like, no, it's not about that. This is about relationships. It's like, you will never get to that relationship, that real one that you could have, if you don't deal with this other stuff. And when it's time, the things will just let you know that it's time. All the stuff that's led up to this, to bring her to this point of she's healed herself, she knows who she is, she's not insecure, and she's ready for that new relationship. But yet there's this one main male relationship that has to be fixed in order for her to achieve her highest level. And by fixed, I do not mean that we may go there and this is going to be like some great like reunion. No, it could be.
It's probably not.
It could be super shitty. Her thing, this is what I told her to sort of convince her, nudge, is that if you don't go there and you just decide like, I don't want to deal with this, I know he's there, whatever, it doesn't matter. I said, your guys' next life, you will have to play out another relationship where this happens and one of you has to step up to deal with it before your karmic debt for this situation goes away. So each time we face our fears and confront things, even if it does not turn out well, if you've done your part in trying to fix it, your karmic debt will be cleared. That other person will have to live through another situation and do it again because they didn't get the message. They didn't get in line, right? They didn't choose their higher path.
And that was really what pushed me, because I don't want to deal with this in my next life. You know, I want this to be this chapter to close. So,
Yeah.
you know, that was the thing that I thought, oh God, no, not in my next life.
Yeah. So I often tell people, you know, that, or people say this, right? Like, live like it's your last day on earth. But what does that really look like? It looks like you don't hold back on the things that are really meaningful, and you don't spread negativity because there's just no reason for it for the next day. Like, it won't get you anywhere to just be negative and be an asshole. Like, it just doesn't get you anywhere. So the more things that you can fix or give healing to other people, like, that's what we're going to go in there with is, you know, this guy has no idea we're about to show up, by the way. We are just totally flying there and going to knock on his door. Me, my mom, and my sister.
Surprise. And I haven't seen him for over 40 years. So I was 19 the last time I saw him, and I'm about to be 63.
So, you know, he's probably going to be a little shocked, but he might be overjoyed. And one of the things to remember when there's trouble between two people and they don't want to speak, often one of them or both hate themselves for something they did. They have guilt about it. And that guilt stops you from facing stuff because it's really ugly emotion to deal with. It's like, face your own stuff that you've done. And if you want to manifest whatever and get to that next level, one of the great things to start with, you can do the manifestation. That's absolutely fine. But keep on covering the stuff that makes you all of your I statements. Whatever your I statements are, you know, I am. Your past has brought you to this point. And if we live in it, if it's always nagging at you, you're not able to move forward, right? You're like, your brain will always keep going back to those past events, guilt that you have that either you did or didn't do stuff. And this would be one for her. If her father were to die, he's 85 years old. If her father were to die and she had the opportunity, and what stopped her was, no, I'm still pissed at him because I think he abandoned me, or I'm putting words in her mouth, but if there's emotions like that and then he does die, you never get to fix that. You never get to go. Even if he's the one that doesn't fix it and you come there with, you know, love and like acceptance. Hey, probably some stuff got messed up. Maybe you didn't have my number, but here I am. It's in his lap now. And so.
Well, one of the thing that I do want to tell him, one of the things, my parting words or whatever, is what I want him to know is that I forgive him for anything perceived or done, because there was a lot of stuff. You know, him and my mother were young, and it was a really fiery relationship. And then they did it when it fell to shit. They did a lot of things to hurt each other, including using their child to get back at each other. So there was a lot of that, and you know, that's impacted my life. But I want to tell him that I forgive him for anything that he did or didn't do, or that I perceived that he did. And that's what I'm going to say. And my daughters are going for emotional support, and we're going to go to Sedona while we're there. So, you guys know about Sedona. It's a big metaphysical place. There's like all this energy there and stuff.
That's exciting.
And we'll be there. Actually, we won't have a meetup on the 13th because we're going to be traveling.
Oh yeah. I'm going to need to cancel that.
September 13th.
So
you guys be thinking about us. But anyway, that was a lot about us. I'd like to hear about somebody else who wants to share anything that, you know, just the conversation we're having about manifestations and, you know, maybe healing things or whatever. Trent, you already told us you're going to do a meditation.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I did a self-love candle spell yesterday.
that's fun.
So I have no idea. It was my very first attempt at anything witchcraft. So, but it felt great to actually do something. So regardless of how it turns out, I feel extremely empowered and happy and loving myself more because I took a step. I used to be very afraid of this stuff. And now I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, that is awesome. So wonderful.
That is wonderful.
You know, I've said this a million times. You cannot do this wrong unless you want to harm people or yourself. Like that's our only rule. You just don't harm anyone else. Don't harm yourself. Do no harm. everything from there is just growth and learning to trust yourself and especially love yourself. You know, I haven't done this in a long time, but I tell people to do it. Stand in the mirror, look at yourself and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And when you stare at your own reflection and say that, it is the weirdest thing at first because you want to do other things. You want to be like, why is your nose so big? Why do you have such thin lips? You should have more hair. What's wrong with your, you know, whatever. We do that. We critique and like put ourselves down instead of just saying like, I really love you. I'm very proud of you. Look at who you've become. Like, look at what you're doing. And it's weird to do it, but the self-love thing, that'll get you places fast, very fast. So I love that you did that.
So Beth, what's your sign? Because I went also and got some specific things about how this moon is affecting different signs and what it impacts on different signs. So what's your sign?
Pisces.
Hey,
Pisces. Okay. All right. So Pisces. So for this new moon, your focus is on creative endeavors. It says now is the time to put new offerings and ideas on display and to put yourself out there. So I don't know if you can relate to that in some kind of way, but that is what this new moon in Leo means for Pisces.
Does that apply to Pisces moons too? Or
yes.
just
Yeah. No, sun sign, moon sign. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I can't see. Rachel, you're the Leo. You're the Leo and Sarah's the Leo. Okay.
Sarah,
Trent, what are you?
Sagittarius.
Sag. Okay.
I know
Abundance.
you have something to say about that, Jamie.
Well, listen, we've had a long relationship, and I have to tell you that more than half the guys I've ever dated have been Sagittarius. That's all. I was like, oh, no wonder I like him. I don't know why.
What day is what's your birthday? My son is a Sag, 11/25.
29.
The 29th. Okay. So super close. Well, for Sagittarius, abundance and luck for those who dare to dream big and take risks.
You didn't do Leo.
I didn't do Leo? Okay.
No, we were about to
All
do
right.
Leo.
Oh, okay. So Leo, let your inner child guide you. People are inspired by your generosity, so use it when you're feeling challenged.
Be generous when you're feeling challenged.
Yes.
Yeah.
And James, what's your sign?
He's a Pisces.
Is he Pisces?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did the thing like I did when
Oh,
when Beth
okay.
said Pisces. I was like,
And
oh,
then Sarah
our
with
whole
no
top
H.
row.
Yes, I'm a Pisces with a Leo moon.
the
Ah,
opposite.
Yeah.
they're
Yes.
off.
Opposite.
Okay. And
I have a
Sarah,
question. I'm sorry, when you're done.
we're gonna do Sarah's sign really quick, Beth. Sarah is a
I'm a Gemini.
You're a Gemini. Okay. So for Gemini, think before you speak and set your intentions with TLC. So, you know, this is
Extra TLC.
Extra TLC.
extra.
So
love.
be careful with your words is basically what this period of time right now is for you.
That's for this this new moon.
This moon, yeah, this
Yeah.
new moon, this phase that we're in right here is a couple of days. So if you set an intention tonight, make sure you're really clear.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
the funny thing is, I'm gonna be in Sedona too.
You are when?
September 12th to the 15th.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna be there. We're flying to Phoenix on the
12th.
10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there then.
Yep.
Oh,
The
okay.
11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yeah,
Well, we're flying out on the 13th, but
yeah.
holy cow. All right. Well, listen, we're already on Instagram together. You're gonna have to
Yeah,
let
we're
me know.
gonna have to maybe we're looking at letting the girls plan all the places that we're gonna go. I'm sure you got plans too, but we can talk about that through our social, whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Beth had a question.
Yeah, I was just curious what the moon sign. I don't know anything about that.
Oh, if you log on to us, you can do free astrology chart. It'll bring up a ton of different sites. If you know the place you were born and the time you were born, it will tell you what your moon sign is. It'll tell you your rising sign. And those can affect your personality and your daily habits. So your moon sign is more about your secret self. So the self you don't necessarily show people. It's usually how your emotions roll. So, you know, with somebody who's a water sign, but they have a sun, or a water sign is a sun sign. And then this all sounds very confusing now that I'm trying to say it. But your elementals, for whether you're fire, water, earth, or air, give a little bit about where your strengths are. So as a water sign, my strengths are my emotion, whether I can hold them or give them. People feel them strongly from me. If it's a fire sign, it's their ambition and goals and energy. With earth signs, it's going to be their, well, I would say delicate, but it's their sense of beauty and appreciation for things. And air, it's all mental. So any air signs, it's like being smart, learning knowledge. Their minds are very important to them.
What, and my moon is Libra. So
I'm
what
also
is-
a Libra moon.
I thought you were a Virgo.
Oh, I'm a Virgo moon.
She's a Virgo.
No,
so-
no. I'm a Libra moon. I'm a Virgo rising.
Oh, okay. All right.
God, so am I. I'm a Libra moon and Virgo
Virgo
rising.
rising. Yeah. Yeah. We're awesome. Just, you know.
I was also told that your moon sign was like described the sign that you are when you're home alone drunk.
Oh, I'm going to write that down. I like that one. Home alone drunk. I know that for your rising sign, that is a lot about your daily personality. So I've always wondered why I'm such a weird Pisces, because I'm extremely I have been very perfectionist, anal retentive, very reality focused. That's not Pisces at all. Pisces are supposed to be like dreamers, drifters, and in the clouds. That was never me. I'm like, why am I so different? I didn't know about rising signs way back when. So I fit my Virgo rising sign very well. I was in the military, so I was very, the militant thing really fit with me. So if you look that up on any site, you can get it as long as you know where you were born and time of birth. So
Do you know what time you were born? Some people don't.
I do actually. So
Okay, good. That,
Yep.
because there's like a 2-hour difference. So as that 12-hour period
Yep.
of AM or PM is going through, you can
The zodiac rotates.
yeah, it rotates, and so
Yeah.
you'll be in if you were born at midnight or born at 12 AM, you're gonna have different alignments of the planets at those two
Yeah.
periods of time, and throughout the whole 24-hour period. So
Yeah.
it's good that I used to have to guess because I couldn't find my birth time forever. And then I just happened upon it one day. Now I know.
I have a kid and I forgot what time he was born. So I don't know how I'm going to figure that out. It's not on his birth certificate, which I thought it would be. It's not. I'm pretty sure it was between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. 2 p.m. I don't know. You're giving birth. You're really not focused on a clock much. So you can make guesses, especially once you watch people's personalities. So say you have a partner or children that you also don't know. You can start to see where they fall with their daily activities versus being home alone drunk. What would they be doing for their moon or rising signs? I don't have anything else for today. I
Trent,
don't
you have a question?
I don't have anything.
Oh, I was just gonna say that might be a good topic for a class, going through the differences and how they relate to personality with your signs and stuff.
Oh,
man.
yeah, that is a good
That
idea.
would definitely be in depth. But if we only had, like 7 like we have now, that'd be okay, because then I could just ask people and we could do individual readings.
Oh, I would love that.
Going through it, yeah. That stuff interests me so much. I got into astrology and then I realized that you have to be in that rabbit hole for about a year before you're really good at just like spouting off what it is. I'm like, I'll keep a book and make references. I'll leave it easy. I'll keep going on to something else. But it is amazingly accurate when you start getting in depth with it. It's like, man, I just figured out my whole life. I had so many questions about myself and they're all answered now just because of that, with it being explained, really understanding your character and your flaws that you want to change. Feel like, oh man, I don't like that I'm a perfectionist. I want to change that about myself. How do I become more easygoing? I don't have the answer yet, but I'm working on it.
I'm never gonna,
They're big books.
going is like tolerant and not, so I had to look this up because I had a really horrible Facebook date experience this past weekend. And the guy's, when first thing he said in his profile was, I'm easygoing. You know what? He was not easygoing. He was so fake. So now anytime I hear easygoing, I'm going to be scarred for life because of this experience was so bad. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So that's like tolerant. That's what easygoing is. Tolerant. Yeah.
He was
Goes
not
with the
tolerant.
flow. Yeah.
No.
No, he was super rigid and fake. Wow. Yeah.
I just want you guys to know that I knew where my mom's date was and I showed up with my sister and my husband.
The whole family showed up.
We stalked her from afar for a little bit just to make sure it was going okay. And then she realized I was there. And she's like, are you guys here? Like, yeah, we're outside.
They didn't try to show up. But the funny thing was, is like, I wanted to hang out with them, you know, because my family's cool. My family's awesome. We have a great time together.
Yeah.
And if I'm, you know, if you're going to be in my life, you got to vibe with my family.
Yeah.
So well, what happened was just all this creepy guy. Anyway, it was just like
Weird
so now,
statements.
weird
Yeah.
stuff.
Weird
Just-
statements.
And but I knew it was not going to work out because of how many times he said, and when I went to church, and then I saw that at church, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're never going to be able to get down with my witch life. I mean, you're just never going to be able to understand that, you know.
Yeah. I thought that was funny. So on the way home, she's thinking, how am I going to let this guy down? But instead, he came back with, he was so insulted that her family was there. And like, he was some kind of creep and we had to check up on her. Like, he took that the wrong way so bad. I was like, whatever. Thanks, universe, for getting him out of the way fast. That was like, you know.
I was rehearsing what I was going to say, which was to take responsibility. Just like, yeah, I'm not the right person for you. You know, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I used to not have a problem with that because I'm blunt to the point of being rude. And I'll just put that out there, or I'll say I was. Part of my spiritual path is to really work on that. And to just, you know, not to try to think about how the words that come out of my mouth, how they might affect other people, because I used to not think about that. So I was thinking about how I was going to say to him, because I thought he was attracted. I thought the way that he acted and everything, I thought for sure he was going to be like, when can I see you again? Yeah, no. Last thing he said was good riddance. I'm like,
He texts her good riddance. That's like,
F you
That
in
is-
church language.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was pretty shocked. And the whole time he's all smiling and joking with the family. Oh, da, 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 da. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Immediately.
Anyway, easygoing. Now that's a trigger word for me.
Wow.
All right, you guys. Who else? Any questions? We talk a lot about ourselves and we'd love to hear about you. You know, we talk to maybe get ideas going and flow. So please.
I was just gonna say, if everybody's like interested in their chart, they should download this app called CoStar, and yeah, it's free. And then you just like put in your details, and then you can also like invite your friends and just see like how compatible you are on like.
Oh,
every level.
wow.
CoStar,
CoStar.
COSTAR.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All righty.
Oh, co-star. See, this right here is why I wanted to create the meeting, because there's no way for everybody to know everything. So when we all get together and we know a little something, we get to share it. And I look at apps pretty often for witchy stuff, because that's also another, you know, with my millions, I'm going to create a witch app that's really accessible for everybody to help new witches. Like, that's a goal. That's been a goal for about 1.5 years. And then I tried to learn code and I was like, no, I'm not learning code to write an app. I'll pay somebody. So can you imagine though, if there was a new witch app out there that just really helped people and was maybe even like a reference book, an electronic book of shadows for not shadows, for a grimoire, just as reference. Like all of a sudden you're out in the woods and you need to do your spell and you're like, oh crap, what was the thing that I was supposed to remember? I'll just look it up. Yeah. That way
There's an app for that.
Only matter of time. It'll
Only
be
matter of
here.
time.
Only a matter of time. Yeah.
So I've been writing down all the stuff that I want to put in it and how it should look. Yeah. One day. I'm manifesting that, you guys. Manifesting that.
So yeah, the money, is not for her herself to buy fancy cars and jewelry and stuff. It's
I have
really,
everything
it's
I
really
want.
to be able to help other people on their spiritual path and just be able to grow that whole business there where you can bring other people in and
Yeah, help people work on
help
themselves.
them.
Yeah.
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 I have to head out early, but I just want to say thank you.
Yep, we're getting ready to
Thank
close
you.
it down
Yeah, we're
too.
closing too.
All right, Rachel, have a good night.
Bye,
You
everyone.
too.
Sarah, James, Trent, see you guys.
Thank you for the meeting again.
No
Uh-huh.
problem.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Yep.